Hey, AfterBuzzers and iZombie fans. Oh my gosh, only 2 episodes left, and we lose a very lovely Isabel this episode, which is very hard. We cannot wait to talk about this episode, though, because we've got a lot of Peyton and Ravi love that's going down, and we can't wait to discuss Insane in the Germ Brain. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
By a party.
I always mess it up.
Every time we're about to start, I'm like,
My voice cracked.
I'm already dead. I'm going through puberty, so I always crack my voice. I am already dead. They should just hire us.
Wow.
That was phenomenal. Welcome back to another week and another after show for iZombie. I cannot wait to get into it because I had a lot of questions and I was texting the girls while I was watching, like, what's going on, as well as I'm very depressed. But before we get into that, I'm your host, Ally Nasta, and I'm joined by my lovely ladies, starting to the left of me, Shawnteairra. What's going on?
I'm sad.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
We're here. We're pushing through. Drew Jones.
What's up, girl? Happy Wednesday. I think I have a theory that might make you feel better.
Oh,
Ooh.
good. And
But
I'm
I'll save
excited about
it.
that. Yeah, we've all got some theories going on. And Nakia Monet.
Hey, girl, hey. And shout out to everybody in the chat. The chat is live. The chat is live on YouTube. For those who are watching us, they are going in about this episode, and they are obviously upset as well.
Yes, and if you guys are listening on a podcast, the reason we are going to be mentioning a live chat is because there is a bunch of fans that get to chat and give us their thoughts and comments throughout the episode, which is super fun. So, overall thoughts, everybody, besides being sad, because we're going to get into that, because I'm really upset about what they did, tell me what you guys were thinking.
Wow. A lot. I feel like everything happened was just so back to back. So once something happens, like I was trying to process that, but then something else happened. It's just like with Angus and with Jordan and Captain Seattle, I'm just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Too much.
Yeah, it was a lot just for one episode.
This is the favorite part of my season, or this is my favorite part of the season. Yeah. I had like a brain mishap there. But the last 2 episodes before the season finale, there's always so much information and so many storylines coming together, and you're starting to see everything pieced together.
Right.
And so I really like this episode because it finally was like, okay, I think I see where we're going to go with this and this and this. So even though there's some sad things, I'm excited for next week.
It's really sad and frustrating, but it was kind of predictable because it is TV. I'm so evil. I'm like, I already knew. But what I loved about the episode, though, because it kind of started on a high, but you kind of had an idea of where they were going. And we just got, we heard that they just renewed for the, season 5?
Yeah.
So
Shout out. We all are so excited.
Yes.
Shout out. That's the only thing that gave me hope.
Yeah,
So
so
like,
I'm
all right.
excited to see because, sometimes I feel like writers, they write certain shows a certain way because they don't know how it's going to go. So I'm excited to see what the new season, even what we just witnessed, maybe they might switch some things up. I'm just
I
saying.
hope so.
Right. And I think sometimes you wonder, where are these writers going with this script? And I think it's because maybe they don't even know if the season's going to get renewed. So they have to write it with a loophole. And I think maybe Isabel might have been that loophole, and then maybe they didn't know if they were going to get renewed yet. So maybe that's why. But that was, I think, the only thing that gave me hope was the fact that we got another season to sit this through. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Spicy.
I wanted to start it off with Peyton and Ravi's relationship. So we've got a family encounter, which was super fun because obviously Peyton announces how she's going to go to DC for just a nice trip for the wellness, a better wellness trip. So that was super, super fun. But what were your guys' thoughts with the encounter of Ravi and Peyton's parents?
Oh, I loved it. I love the way Ravi checked Peyton's dad. And then how she leaned over and rubbed his leg. I'm like that's my man.
That's my man.
That's my man.
Yeah, I think it's always nerve-wracking to meet, your significant other's parents. Ravi is that comic relief we have on the show. So it was nice to see him. He still was kind of jokey, but it was nice to see him have a little bit more serious moment. And you're like, oh, okay, he really is super serious about Peyton.
What I love though, because Ravi is European and different, and I feel like their culture is a little bit different from our culture, where I feel like they're ready to check you any day and any time. So I just feel like people from like England are like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool story, bro. But I loved it because because dad's an aggressive dad, and I feel like no one was able to go toe to toe with the dad. So I love that Ravi was like, you're not paying me a compliment.
Yeah,
I'm not here for it.
And sometimes you notice characters throughout TV shows, whenever they're around a father, they always shy away from...
Always.
They probably shy away from, actually telling the dad what's up. But Ravi did not shy away at all. And this is the first encounter. And he might even have to check in on them, while she's gone. And he was like, I'm going to check in on you. But what was great is it earned her dad's respect even more.
Yes.
So that
We're
was
here for it.
super fun and exciting. And hopefully this will help all of them, grow and prosper and learn a great deal of things. Which, speaking of a great deal of learning, I think Drew has the perfect podcast for us.
Yes, if you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life, we've got the perfect podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life. From health and wellness to career, relationships, and more, let our Maria be the big sister that you've always wanted. Just head over to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria for free. You guys, there's nothing better than getting knowledge for the free. When you get over there, be sure to rate and comment and let her know that it was us, the iZombie panel, that sent you guys there. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out. It's almost Friday. There's gonna be a new podcast. She always has something good to say. So.
It's really dope and an amazing podcast. And I feel like a lot of us, even if you feel like you don't need it, you should just listen anyway, because there might be some gems and some jewels on there that you can use.
Facts.
100%.
And it's free.
Yes. 100%.
We love free.
Yes, we do.
You know what I always say, children? If it's free, it's for me. Okay?
I love every part of that. That just made me so happy. Oh my gosh. Well, she gives a lot of great advice, and another person that gives very good advice, actually, I feel, was Peyton's dad, in the terms that he was saying, listen, he was laying it on the table, this is what's going to happen, and I want you to stay in DC. Were you guys thinking that Peyton should stay in DC, as Ravi kind of was alluding to, or no?
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because you obviously don't want her to go to DC because we love her on the show. Maybe the show can go another route. But I understand where her parents and Ravi were coming from. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, Ravi, you need to go with her as well. Like, y'all just go to DC because they don't want her in harm's way. And as we see as the show, goes a little further, how some of the zombies are treating the humans. So it's a little scary out here. And she is one human. Ravi's half human. It is not a lot, Clive. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like their lives may be in danger. So I understood where mom and dad and even Ravi were coming from.
I did too, and I think too, like the way that they were so concerned, it just made me feel like it's making me look forward to next week's episode, because I'm wondering, man, is something gonna happen to Peyton? Is she gonna,
right?
And not to really just jump, but even when Liv dressed up as Peyton, that kind of freaked me out too, because people thought that people thought that she was like around, like. So I'm thinking, okay, is this gonna be maybe leading Peyton into some mess because of Liv? And the father is saying you should stay in DC to be safe. So I'm just curious as to what's going to happen.
And let's just talk about really quick about the Nuke City part that he brought up.
Yeah.
So let's break this down a bit as to what he was saying. He was saying that basically, the zombies are going to run out of brains, and then they're going to need to bring more brains from outside to the inside. But in the meantime, they could get angry, is what I was understanding, and so then they would have to nuke the city in the case that should these zombies get out of control.
Well, he was saying that they were going to stop the brain shipment. That's what he was saying.
Okay.
That's what Angus was the one trying to get people all riled up. But Peyton's dad was saying that they were going to stop the brain shipment, and then they were talking about they're going to have like just the humans and zombies kind of fight it out. And if the humans win, then that's great. But if zombies win, then
they'll just nuke the city to get rid of all of them.
Exactly.
I'm just hoping that maybe she goes to DC and brings like the big guys and some help, while like Ravi's in Seattle trying to think of a cure. I'm hoping that maybe she can bring something, and maybe someone. I'm thinking of like one of those big alien movies.
See, I have a feeling that Peyton going to DC is going to allude to it's going to be a lot bigger than Seattle. I don't think it's going to be contained in Seattle much longer. I think even maybe next season, now that we have, we're guaranteed another season, we might see an outbreak even further because who knows who's gonna, for all we know, like maybe Ravi goes with Peyton, and you know he turns into a zombie once a month. So what if he accidentally scratches somebody while he's in DC?
Right.
You know?
That's such a great
And
point.
maybe, like you said, maybe some zombies have already started creeping out and they're in other states
I mean,
already.
we've been having people sneak in and out this entire season. Who's to say that that's not going to be a thing? So I definitely think it's more. I don't want to see her go, but I think it's alluding to the fact that it's just not going to be a Seattle thing anymore.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think let's not shy away from the fact that she is mayor or acting mayor right now, which for me, I don't know why, but it's something that I missed in the past couple episodes. And I know that you guys had mentioned there was a little bit of paperwork handoff. So if you guys were confused at all, there was an actual handoff that happened to make her mayor. It wasn't just like a thing that they were talking about, which I feel like it just kind of jumped in there quickly.
It did. For sure.
And it wasn't, because I know at the dinner table with her dad, she mentioned something about how I have to take care of the city right now. It wasn't until Liv dressed up and all of the people bombarded her when she went to go get Izzy's mom that I noticed, oh wait, she's real mayor, technically, right now. Which was crazy to me. But moving on to, you know, that whole scene of Isabel's mom coming to visit, let's talk about Izzy for a second.
Oh.
This was a very hard episode because we've kind of grown to love her, and she's been a huge part of this friendship that we've grown to love, aside from Major, because we're mad at him right now. But, you know, she's doing these pranks to pretend that she's dead along the way to make it easier for them to cope with her leaving. What were your guys' thoughts and feelings while you're watching her lay on the ground? Because for me, every time I was alarmed and I was like, why are you doing this to us?
I knew she was going to go this episode just because it was kind of like that major look. Eventually, like, it's going to... Little boy who cried wolf. You know, eventually it's gonna happen. And so I was just like trying to emotionally prepare myself. It was more me focusing on like I hope she gets to say what she needs to say to Liv and to Ravi and to, you know, whoever. But it was still, even though I knew it was coming, it still was really heartbreaking.
Yeah, because even when she says that she's preparing them, it's like she was preparing the audience, but you can never be prepared for death. And even though I knew this was coming, it's still at the end, I'm like, wait, no, this can't happen because you're never ready for death. And like you said, we grew to love her, and I, you know.
She added a great...
She did.
She was a great addition to this bond that we loved.
Yeah.
I don't think she's dead.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, there might be some things that might change.
Do you want me to tell you why I don't?
Yes,
I
yes.
want
Tell
to
us,
hear
Drew.
on
Tell
this.
us, Drew.
So, and if you remember earlier in the season, she was climbing in and out of the what is it, the table, the rolling thing. She was getting really comfortable in there. So not that that's like necessarily, you know, she's faking death or anything, but I think that was kind of like a hint to we're gonna see her in there at some point. But also, we don't necessarily know that she's immune per se. Zombies originally came out like they would dig themselves out of graves and stuff. Like they were dead first and then they became zombies. So I'm wondering if she is going to become a zombie after death.
Right.
Oh.
Like on some thriller.
Yeah.
I would love
And I'm
to see
hoping
that.
she's not like, you know, like the Max Rager style zombie, like Drake, R.I.P. I loved him. I loved him.
I hope they bring his face
Not
back.
the Canadian rapper. Liv's
just
We love
ex-boyfriend.
him. We love just his face.
Just his
He's so
face.
fine.
So I'm wondering, but I'm hoping she's like just a regular, but maybe she's like a zombie that, I don't know, I feel like she's going to be like a zombie 2.0, but maybe it'll be for the better. Like maybe she doesn't crave brains and then somehow they're able to
Maybe
like,
she's like a special zombie. Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
basically she's immortal
and,
almost.
yeah, and
And
they
she gets
figure
to
out
help with the cure.
they figure out how to not necessarily turn them into being not zombies, but how to make them not brain craving zombies. I don't know.
No, that's a
no,
good
that's-
point. That's a good point.
That's a really good
That's
point.
a great point. But the only I love that so much, and now it's making my head spin because we haven't seen too much. It was just obviously them being very emotional, losing her, and then putting her away in one of those drawers. But my only question is because she said she wouldn't live to have her brain.
Yeah.
So if she, for some reason, takes her brain before she wakes up, that's my only thing, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that was a really cool moment where she was like, I want you to have it, to be able to have my memories to live on, which was a very special moment.
That was really
And-
It
sweet.
was. I don't think Liv's gonna do it though. I don't see her. I mean, I agree with you completely. I think she's gonna come
Right.
back. I didn't see it at
Okay.
first, but then I'm like, I
Maybe
can
they,
see that.
maybe they did it because they weren't sure they were gonna have another season, and now
Right.
that
and
they
so
know,
They might
can
switch
bring her
things up.
back.
Yeah, season 5.
That's so true because anybody can come back if we know that in TV.
Yeah,
It's TV. I feel like they'll make it happen.
because the screenwriter in me would see the season finale being like the very last moment being like Liv and Ravi getting ready to like open up Isabel, and then
She's like,
yeah,
Right? No,
Not
literally,
being
and
that.
that's it. But hey, this is TV. If on soap operas someone dies a million times, they can bring Isabel back.
fact.
That's true.
And just like you said, like the zombies, we know some of the zombies that come up from the grave. I
Right.
can totally see that happening. Well, maybe
Yeah.
when Liv scratched her before, maybe,
It's like a delayed.
yeah,
thing.
maybe it's delayed.
And
We
I
have
just- and
hope.
I instantly thought of when you said that. I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking of Twilight when what's her face when she died.
Who?
From Twilight.
Oh, Kristen?
Bella.
Yeah, Bella. When she came back, see, like something like
True.
that.
They
Yeah.
thought she was gonna die on the table, and then she did the whole like
Yeah,
red
so
eyeball.
I see it. We're gonna just.
iZombie, we have hope.
We do.
Hopefully
Yeah.
you guys are listening and change your
Yeah,
whole
I
change your
love
whole
her.
script.
But I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie though, I think I didn't cry. My eyes got a little watery. I didn't like fall, but once I seen like it hit Ravi, to me that moment
that
hurt.
just hit me. Like I was literally like, oh my gosh, this is so sad.
there was something truly special about Ravi and Isabel's bond, which I found really interesting because we haven't obviously seen any of his family members and kind of any of his background story. We just know him as the present day Ravi. So my question is kind of, is this maybe a foreshadowing of how Ravi's going to be as a parent? Would we see any children come into the world possibly? And with that being said, what's going to happen knowing that he is partially zombie and Peyton isn't?
Interesting.
We have some peeps, and shout out to our chat. Our chat's pretty awesome. We have some peeps in the chat room. They agree with you guys. Nakia Manuel says it's a supernatural TV show. Anyone who dies can come back.
Yeah, facts.
Silver Watcher 30 said Isabel needs to be back because she brings a happy to the show. Ivan is just like, Drew, I was agreeing with you, but it was taking too long for her to wake up. Yeah, so people are torn.
Yeah, so crazy what could go on. I loved Liv is obviously always hilarious. We kind of got two characters this episode for her, which Liv played Peyton as well as a germaphobe.
I love it.
So Liv as Peyton was pretty on point, which was really fun to see. And then also, I just want to admit, I need more Liv and Levon.
Yes.
I feel as if we've gotten a little bit of, Liv and her boyfriends here and there, but they could take an episode or two. I know we're obviously towards the end of the season, but in season 5, I would really like to see Liv and Levon like have a date or have some sort of emotional tie. Because even though I love them together, I still in my head feel like the writers want Liv and Major to get back
They
together.
do.
Yeah.
They do.
Wow.
I'm telling you
I feel like they're
guys.
portraying their character is just physical. I mean,
It's
every time
yeah.
I see them, they in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like
because it's like every time they bring a new boyfriend, you kind of just know this is just a boyfriend for the moment. And I feel like because this is quote unquote TV, I'm doing air quotes for those who cannot see me. I feel like whenever this series is going to go off, it's going to be either her by herself or her and Major. I don't know, because sometimes writers, they do that. So I feel like when they write her boyfriends in, it's good for the moment. But I don't ever see longevity with any of the new
See,
guys.
I actually see longevity with Levon. I think, it is a lot of like, it's little. I don't know. I see a friendship there, and then I think it's like maybe it's just Daniel and Rose just are amazing actors, but like there's little things they do when they're together that I'm like. There's a sense of how comfortable the characters are with each other. Like,
That makes
even when
sense.
they're standing next to each other, it's not necessarily like sensual touches, but it's just like how he rests his hand like on her waist. It's just very like
I
comfortable
agree.
and
it's
like
making me smile thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
And
They
they're
bring
cute.
like a
They're super
warm.
cute.
They bring something warm to the scene where you feel like they do love each other.
Yeah, because we're Major, the last couple times she's had her rounds with Major, it's been, this really intense passion, but it's been a lot of sexual passion. And then, like,
Right.
with Drake, there was always drama. And then, again, it was...
No trust either.
No trust, but then a lot of sexual passion. And I like that Levon and her have this, like, really good friendship, and they just so happen to be, like, together,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a sense of, like, comfortability with one another that she hasn't had with other love interests.
Well, I think it does have to do with the fact that she can be solely herself. I mean, whether that be not exactly herself, an out of brain experience, may you have it. But also, I'm just kind of curious. They've been filming this documentary of Liv continuing to scratch people. What are you guys thinking is going to happen with this video?
I think it's definitely going to get out there. I
sure.
think because even if you see the previews, I feel like the end or the season finale, it's going to test everybody. I feel like the video is going to get out there and someone's going to find out, but I think it's going to be one of those things. It's either you're going to be on the good side or the bad side.
Right.
Which side are you riding for? Are you protecting people? Are we saving humans? Are we saving zombies in the real way? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like once the video gets out there, it's one of those things to major. Are you on the good side or are you on the bad side? Will you have my back? Like, or if Chase tells the crew, like, you know what? If you guys don't bring her forward, we're killing all of you guys. So you're on the good side. I just feel like it's going to be one of those, like, where people are going to have to choose which side they're on. And I feel like it's going to be one big war.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think that, too, I mean, obviously Major isn't going to say anything about Liv being Renegade, but I feel like that there has to be a way for it to come out. I think that's, like, the most predictable way is that the footage will get out, and then that's how they'll find out. That's how Chase Graves is going to find out.
You know what I just had an epiphany of? Sorry, Drew. Don't forget that thought. You know how obviously Major is on that brain that tells the truth?
Yeah.
I think he
Yes.
might spill the beans to Fillmore Graves about her being the new Renegade.
I was very worried about
Yeah.
that when I saw him on that.
And
brain.
I think when it comes to the point, he's going to have to choose up and say, wow, am I going to have her back? And because remember, he's seen what Chase just did to his cadets. So I think now Major's going to be at that moment. That's why I said, like, I don't think they were making Major super evil. I think they were going to test Major. So I think Major's going to have to figure out, like, okay, do I have his back? What I seen what he just did to my two cadets for it really wasn't that serious? Or do I have this girl's back, the girl who was like the love of my life, my really good friend? Like, what am I going to do? What's right or what's wrong?
Yeah, I'm not saying
what I
it.
think.
I'm not saying it with the truth brain because I doubt it lasts that long. I mean, it was just a little piece of it.
Yeah,
So,
but we don't know what happened. I mean, they got caught, so we don't know what happened to the rest of that brain.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's blue. It was like a super brain. So
Right. And they could force him to eat it just like AJ did.
Yeah.
I could see Chase on some really evil, like, who is the renegade, you know? Like, trying to make everyone eat that truth.
What I was going to say about the documentary, though, is I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see it, but I think it's going to happen when it's going to be used as a source of, like, zombies have humanity in them, because I think that's going to be the big question of, especially with Brother Love, like, riling everyone up. I think the question is going to be, are zombies still, like, do they still have empathy? Or is there humanity in them? And that video is going to show, because Levon obviously is getting all these great moments. It's obviously going to show
the crying family members.
Yeah.
That's so true.
It's going to put zombies in a good light. And so I think it's actually going to be a lot more helpful than we think it's going to be.
And so usually the brains last a week, but people in the chat are pretty much saying, I think the blue brains last a little bit longer. So I think you guys are right. Like, the brains may be lasting a little bit longer, and it may
absolutely
cause Major to slip
I
up.
just feel like it's gonna be more like better than that. I just feel like I think it will be more stronger than Fillmore Graves or Chase Graves finding out that Liv is Renegade because Major just slips up. Like, I just don't see that happening.
Well, I think it also, I mean, I don't even know if necessarily slips up, because we've seen Liv be able to control herself on certain brains, and then she'll let herself completely go on others. So I think it's still a matter of willpower for Major. And I think if he's getting flustered or whatever, I think he would easily slip up and just be like, just to have it off his chest.
And I know we've discussed this before, but do we think Major is too far gone from going back to being able to be the Major we know and love?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so anymore.
I don't think so. I mean, I think we were able to see a dark side of him, and I think it was because I think he thought he was doing the right thing. Same thing with Chase. Like, I think when Chase started this whole thing, he thought he was doing the right thing, but it took a left turn. I don't think it's too late for Major. I just think that going forward, he has to make the right decision, because now if he makes the wrong decision, now it's like, all right, what type of person are you?
Right.
You know?
And now he has to realize, though, that Chase Graves is doing this.
Oh, he
almost
has
for
to
the
see it
wrong...
now.
Yeah, like he physically saw that him shoot the gun, you know? So the fact that he's seeing that, like, he has to kind of change, and I would love to see him on the side of Liv.
I would love to see him
I think
down
I
Chase.
think we will. I think that once, because even his reaction to them to Chase Graves shooting Jordan, how he like tried to kind of stop it, and the way he was like holding Jordan afterwards, I'm pretty sure that this is making Major kind of question.
Yeah, everything.
I mean, but I'm not gonna lie though, Chase's character was just so boring. I'm like, he's supposed to be this like high power,
Chase.
and he's
He's so
just like,
weird.
I'm like, I need him to shake things up a little bit. I mean, granted, the fact that he did kill Renegade, I understand that,
Yeah.
but his character
He's
was
just-
Too
just
soon.
Still listen, we are all emotionally unstable after that. I think
I said it so casual too.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
we need Renegade back. She needs to come back from the
She
dead.
needs to come
Yes,
back.
I mean
from the
her
dead.
head is in smithereens,
I don't
but
want- yeah, you're right.
Hey, anything can
Um,
happen on TV.
the only thing that makes me nervous about Major is normally like when a character kind of goes rogue and goes to the dark side like that, when they're on the road to redemption, they tend to not survive. And
Wait, you
like,
think he'll die?
I don't know if it's gonna be this.
Well, someone in the chat did say, they said according to some of the promos, some people think Major Robert Buckley may be leaving.
Yeah, because
Oh, no.
listen, like, what's better? How is he gonna make up for all of this stuff that he's been doing this entire season? Except a selfless act of sacrifice, you know? Like, I think he's gonna maybe be trying to save Liv or something, but I think he's gonna die. I don't want him to, but I just
I
Like
don't
that would be
know.
the only way for us to kind of all let him go, and that means
Not
that would
me.
the only reason.
He doesn't have to die for me to forgive
Right.
him.
I mean, that could make sense though, because he's been a struggling character.
Yeah.
He's never had it easy. He's always been on this search to try to find the goodness, but he ends up on the wrong side of the tracks, even though he's trying to do the good thing.
he's the opposite of Blaine, I feel like.
He is. And remember at the beginning, he had this mission where he wanted to save these kids. So it's interesting to see him take this turn, and I
Yeah.
think he is going to be struggling. After seeing Chase go bat bleep crazy, I think now he's like, whoa.
I feel like it's so funny how we kind of flip flop because I feel like we all have like this love-hate relationship with Major for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and let's
And
not
Blaine.
forget the whole reason he freaking became the zombie killer was because he was trying to protect Liv, because
Yes.
he was because Max Rager was basically saying, if you don't kill these zombies, we will kill Liv. So it's crazy because at the end of the day, all these were technically out of acts of selflessness.
That's why I think he thinks he's doing the right thing, because I don't think he woke up and was like, oh, I hate everybody.
Right.
It's kind of like he
It's
thought,
like a slow progression.
it's like, I'm going to protect these people, but unfortunately they ended up being bad things. So I think he's going to have a lot of thinking to do.
You know who has a lot of thinking to do?
Who, girl?
Brother Love, but he doesn't think it through.
I think Brother Love needs to chill.
He needs to relax.
He needs to think about what's going on, because this is crazy, and Donna E went a little producer crazy this episode, which
My
he's just a
guy.
phenomenal actor. He's so
Donnie
hilarious.
He is
He's a
just
fave character. I hope they never
He's
let
like,
him
this
go.
is my baby.
too good for this world.
He's too good.
Too good.
I think we can all say that they're all super talented.
Yeah,
they
even
are.
with Major, even
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when he was on the Truth Brain, the character that he was playing was amazing.
Yeah,
I
it was
loved
super fun.
Yeah.
Brother Love needs to relax, and I wonder, like, because it's like when he starts talking, the zombies kind of
They're getting tranced.
hypnotized.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if there's going to be one zombie besides the people who work for the law who's going to be like, "This is ridiculous. You need to relax."
Well, someone tried to
but
speak
he
up.
wasn't a zombie.
He wasn't?
Tucker's friend.
That was it was his friend who
Yeah.
he went. You remember when he like
Oh.
begged him to kill him when he first got turned
Yes,
and he
yes.
didn't? That's the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
Thanks for
humans
pointing
are
out.
going to be like, "What do you do?" But I want like a zombie to be like, "This is not what we're
Yeah,
about."
I guess because all of these zombies have just been starving and he's fed them, so it's almost like, of course, they were in their worst state of mind, and that's why he's been able to capture their almost their minds. But I don't know, it is true. Like, why isn't anybody stopping him?
Well, what's interesting is like I love shows like iZombie or Blacklight. Actually, any of the CW shows, because they're not afraid to take what's going on in the real world and put their own spin on it. Because you watch it and you think, this is ridiculous. How is nobody doing anything? But then you kind of look at our current situation as a country and you're like,
Hello. This is ridiculous. How is no one doing anything?
this feels oddly similar. So it is a really cool take on it. But I do think Brother Love, I don't know, man. I just like, it's not, nothing good is coming from this.
No.
It's
Yeah.
and I think that this is just leading up to that revolution or whatever that main point is going to be at the end of the season, which is only 2 episodes away, which is crazy.
I agree with you. I think that too with Tucker's friend coming in and because I feel like that there was really no point in that in them having that, but I think this will really show how like zombies will really kind of stick together. Like, all
Yeah.
the zombies will really stick together, despite even if you have friends that are humans or whatnot. It's like zombies are gonna just stick
Yeah,
together.
but remember his human friend did him wrong when he came back. So I feel like that was the reason why he was like, "You can eat him."
Or because Brother Love keeps referring to Blaine as like basically zombie Jesus, I wonder if the guy who saved Brother Love is going to be like the Judas and eventually like betray him.
Because him and Lil Tucker, I feel like we have to watch him.
Yeah.
Because he's really obsessed with Brother Love. And I don't know if he's going to do something where it's like he's going to protect him at all costs. Or if he's going to be the person.
He's technically a spy and he's like trying to get on the other side to like save him. But really he's just getting, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Maybe one of those things.
The show just has your brain working.
Right.
No pun intended.
So
No pun
Kind of
intended.
brain mush.
Brain mush. Ugh.
Ugh.
Literally.
Literally.
Well, guys, Clive and Dale.
Oh.
I'm happy. Finally, they're done.
Okay.
I'm so over it.
Just a second. Let's just talk about how Dale ends up hearing this conversation of Clive telling Liv that he wants to be able to have babies and he can't do that with Dale. No matter what the circumstances, that is a heartbreaking thing to hear.
It's very heartbreaking. But I kind of wish that she was just woman enough to just sit him down and be like, bro, look, instead of doing the whole, I'm seeing someone.
Oh, yeah, that was way
because
too much.
now it's going to bother him and he's going to be thinking about, I kind of just wish, because they've been so honest, you're a zombie, he's a human, we know this. I kind of just wish she sat him down and was like, look, I love you enough to let you go. We can't do this. Like, live your life.
Yeah,
So he doesn't feel guilty.
I feel like for people who are, I think they're the older characters on the show, they're very immature with how they handle their relationship. Like,
100%.
their honesty is really only used when it's to hurt one another.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
like he's like, oh yeah, I hooked up or I slept with that person, and she's just like, oh, that's fine because I did this. It's like it wasn't to cleanse their sins. It was just to let each other know, to hurt each other.
Right. It was like a one-up. Like, oh, you don't want to be with me anymore? Well, you know what? I'm in love and I'm going to break your heart even further.
Because it doesn't help his new relationship, because now he's with Michelle, but he's still thinking about Dale and he's still heartbroken. So I just think you have to give people that closure. Like, look, this is what it is.
Right.
Because now he's not going to be focused on what can be a really dope relationship with human Michelle, and they can have all types of human sex.
Or because Clive has had such bad luck with dating, that this could be. I'm like hoping.
Seems like they didn't have a lot of luck in the bedroom.
No, I think.
I think he felt guilty.
I think exactly. He was.
And that's why she needed to let him go.
There was some rebound hookup, but it's okay because I feel like that they're gonna.
No, guys.
I was gonna say I really like Michelle, and
I love her.
I think she's good for him, and I still am very much on my Dale and Blaine train.
I think they will hook up for sure.
That would be amazing.
So I want.
We
that
love
to
Michelle.
happen.
We're Team Michelle. I just wish Dale did it a little bit differently.
I agree.
Because Clive is always in his feelings, and now I
Agreed.
think that he's going to think too much about this instead of just thinking about Michelle.
It makes
but
it
hopefully
awkward. They work
it
together.
does.
So.
Exactly. And I mean, eventually he's probably going to find out that she heard the tapes or something, and it's going to come down to it. But it's also, I agree with you 100%, Nakia. Just tell him the truth. Be like, listen, I know I'm a zombie, and I can't change that. But if you want to be with me and you want to have kids, like, we need to find
Let me
another
scratch
option.
that arm
Exactly.
for you,
Find
babe.
that cure, something.
Come, let me scratch you.
Oh man, ladies, this is too much fun. I can't believe how fast an hour goes by.
I know.
It is crazy, but we're going to
This
get
show's
into some
intense.
brain food of the day. And with this, Nakia actually has some fun zombie facts of the week she would like to share after we talk about our brain food.
Yes.
Tasty. So tasty.
I hate it so much.
Today's brain food was a brain burger.
It looked like a turkey burger.
It did.
It reminded me of the In-N-Out. I felt like animal style. I was kind of just because I understand like it's the brain, but the sauce that they use.
I will say this one did not make me as hungry as they usually do.
No.
They went
Yeah.
too fast. It wasn't appealing.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, wait, was that, did I even
I was
see
like,
that
that
burger?
Yeah.
In-N-Out animal
And
style.
it took me a second to like connect it, but since it was at like a sports bar, I was like, okay, burgers. But it wasn't my favorite out of the brain
It
foods.
wasn't as creative as
It
they have in
wasn't.
the
It's like
past.
they're going super fast, especially with the cases, because we're not really on the cases as much because they have a bigger problem right now to solve. So it's like the
Right.
case and the brain food goes super fast
Yeah, you
now.
almost are trying to figure out, because you're going, that's such a great point, because you're going
Yeah.
so back and forth between the actual, suspects against the actual other dramas going on. You're like, wait, who are these people again?
Right,
Yeah.
you kind of forget. You're like, oh,
I
thought
think
there
I
was a
talked
dead
about
body.
this last week. The killers are it's like they're connected now. Like before, it'd be like the killer would just be somebody random, and now it's like, oh, it's this person who we just seen with Donnie. So I'm like, what? Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it's all coming together.
The bad zombies are coming to the forefront.
Hey.
I also feel like they're just never gonna top the spotted dick episode.
That was amazing.
Because it took us so long to figure it out, and then when Bree, our engineer, let us know, we were like, oh,
We were like,
whoa.
that's genius. That is so genius. But let's get into our zombie fact of the week, Nakia.
Showa.
What?
Yes! Shout out to our major engineer, Anthony. He's always on it with the sound effects. Anthony, can we do that one more time? Or
Scared.
yes!
That actually creeps me
Right.
out so bad.
But it was actually perfect. So, guys, we thought we'd come up with a cool new segment called Zombie Fact of the Day. I don't know if it's really a fact because I don't even know if they're real. Let me stop saying I don't know. They're not. All right. So, the ancient Greeks may have been the first civilization terrorized by the fear of the undead. Archaeologists have unearthed many ancient graves which contain skeletons pinned down by rocks and other heavy objects to prevent the dead bodies from reanimating. Zombie folklore has been around for centuries in Haiti, possibly originating in the 17th century when West African slaves were brought to work on Haiti's sugarcane plantations. Brutal conditions left the slaves longing for freedom. According to some reports, the life of the rather afterlife of a zombie represented the horrific plight of slavery.
Oh, wow.
That was your zombie facts of the day.
Thank you, Nakia.
Unfacts for the undead.
Yeah.
Unfacts for the undead.
That's so great. We should call it that, the unfacts of the week. Unfacts
Yes,
of the undead.
I like it.
Amazing.
Who came up with that?
Nakia.
Oh, okay.
Nakia killing it out here.
Nakia. Well, we've got
Whoop, whoop.
other
No.
fun
We
news.
all came up with that.
Yeah. In other fun news and gossip, Shawnteairra is going to hit us with all the fun stuff that our lovely zombie cast is doing, rather than
AfterBuzz TV.
filming season 6, of course.
Woo!
So I got a couple
Or
things.
5. I said 6, 5.
I always have too much. So I thought it was really interesting that Dean Laurie, who was one of the producer, or actually who wrote this episode. So Dean Laurie wrote this episode, and Jude Wang directed the episode. Dean was is known for Arrested Development, My Wife and Kids, and Major Pain.
Okay.
And then
Pain, yes.
Jude is known for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Fresh Off the Boat, and Blackish.
Love.
So I'm not really sure. Like I think it was it Ravi? I believe it was either Ravi. Yeah, it was Ravi who tweeted that they're the ones that had wrote and directed this episode.
Nice.
So great job.
Go
You made me cry.
Yeah.
And then I was actually gonna announce that they got renewed, but everyone already knows.
Woo-hoo.
So, yeah,
Well, we
season
had
5.
to spill the news on season 5. We're
Yeah.
so excited.
No, I'm really excited about it. So that is awesome. What else is going on? Oh, I thought it was so funny that by the way, Ravi's hilarious. All his tweets are just so funny.
He
But
is
he like posted
hilarious.
he posted like a clip from what was it? Oh, Wolf of Wall Street, where Leonardo DiCaprio was like, "I'm not leaving. I'm not effing leaving." The show goes on. Then he's like, "Yeah, season 5." So I was
He's
cracking up.
hilarious.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Those
I read a
English
tweet
people.
about him saying he was going to get some sort of iZombie tattoo.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so I have that next.
Oh, sorry.
So apparently, and this is something that Liv started. So Liv was like, because it got renewed that Clive and Ravi were both gonna get the iZombie tattoos.
Come on, Malcolm and
So,
Raoul.
I don't know. Malcolm and Raoul.
Everybody look at on their Instas for some pics.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I doubt that. He didn't really entertain the idea of that. What else? Okay, so David Anders has a song on iCloud called "Call Your Mom."
That is amazing.
Everything.
So I believe that dropped on Mother's Day, but he's hilarious.
That-
I love his voice.
You
He's
guys heard it
everything.
from him first. Call your mother.
Call your mom.
Call your
Say
mom.
hello.
What else? Also, Robert Buckley, he's going to be at DreamCon June 2nd and 3rd. This is a convention. It's in Paris, though. So,
Oh, so we can't go
right.
there.
If you're in Paris,
Someone can fly me out.
right. Last but not least, say this for the best, because I never really see any updates about Clive or Malcolm Goodwin. So he's going to start and direct Be the Light. it's actually a working title, so obviously it could change. So he'll play a former OG trying to turn the page and do some good in the community.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I also
love
found out
him.
that he directed 3 theatrically released films from Vision Vehicle Productions. One of them's A True Story, second one's Construction, and the third one is Past the Light. So I love the fact that all of them are doing other things, which is amazing.
We love multi-talented crews and
Come on,
cast.
Come on, guys.
Because
Come
they're
on,
truly
Robert.
talented. Like
They really
all so
are.
talented.
Yeah, they are. I would love to work on that set with them.
Yeah.
It'd be so much fun. We should try to see if we can get some sort of set visit. Even we need to,
Right?
even if
Oh
we
my
need to fly out to
They-
Vancouver.
I was gonna say they do film in Canada, but I've got a passport.
Yeah,
I do
so
too.
It's
let's
right
go.
there. It's not far. We
You
should just
heard
go to
it, that
Canada.
zombie. We're coming for you. Gosh, ladies, was there anything else?
No, that was it.
Well, thank you so much, Shawnteairra. That was phenomenal. We love hearing about our favorite cast and crew, and I just love talking with you ladies every week because it's so much fun.
Yes.
And we love you guys for listening, and we're so, so thankful for all that you guys do with all your comments and subscribing on iTunes podcast and downloading and all of that great stuff. So we wanted to shout one of you guys out specifically in the chat tonight to send our thanks for listening and watching as always. Nakia?
Yes. Okay, sorry. I love you guys in the chat. We love all you guys. So we want to give a special shout out to John Snowden. Hey, boo. And but shout out to everyone in the chat because you guys have always on it. Before we can even log in,
Right.
you guys have the most amazing conversations. So we love you. But I will just say this. If you guys can give us a thumbs up, we would love it. And for those listening to us on the podcast, if you can give us 5 stars, we would love you as well.
In celebration of season 5.
5. Yes, girl. I love that.
5 stars for season 5. And if you guys leave a review or comments or anything, we will definitely shout you guys out on our next episode. Really quick, ladies, we need to get into some really fast predictions.
Let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
They should just say brain.
Yeah. That left me scared afterwards. Okay, Shawnteairra.
So I'll be quick. Basically, I feel like that Drew, everything you said, I second that. But I believe that Russ, who escaped, is gonna come after Major. I don't think he's gonna go for Chase. I think he's gonna come after Major for betraying him.
Ooh.
Right. He's
True.
Okay.
3 quick bullet points. Isabel, not dead for good. Major, I think you're dying. Peyton, I think you're leaving. Bam.
Dang. Okay. I think I'm gonna be really positive. I think Major is going to do the right thing. He may die, he may leave, but I think he is going to do the right thing and he's going to choose the right side.
Agreed.
I always been saying this. I think it's going to be a big, huge, fat war at the end. But I also think Blaine, is going to possibly see the bad in Daddy and possibly take Daddy out because Angus, brother love, gotta go. And I think Isabel will probably come back, not this season, but season 5.
Oh, I love that. I'm definitely on the whole Isabel's alive train. Train.
Yes.
Brain.
I'm totally on that train. I think she's alive. I think that'll be amazing. I think that Peyton is definitely coming back, but she's going to be a huge say. I think she's going to be a huge say, and kind of it's going to be her against Chase Graves, and it's going to be a huge come-to moment. And obviously, I think that it's going to be her with all of Liv and everybody that she's kind of helped, cure, basically, and make a zombie. And then we're going to find the cure by the end of the season.
Yes.
I think that whatever Ravi's tests had done, he's going to be able to have at least one vial of a cure that he could possibly learn into, curating and multiplying.
Agreed.
But
I get
think,
anxiety. Ooh.
I know. It's so exciting, so juicy, so good, and we have so much fun talking about it. And guys, 2 episodes left before the season finale. Can you believe it?
That's
No.
crazy.
It is
We should have a brain eating party at the end.
We should.
Yes.
do it.
The gelatin brains.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining. As always, Shawnteairra, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shawnteairra.
Drew Jones.
You guys can find me on all the things at OKDrewJ and just in a little bit for Famous and Love's after show with Nakia.
Yes. You guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom and with my girl. I was gonna say with my girl, Famous and Love. Good night. You guys can find me with Drew on Famous and Love right after this.
And hey guys, Ally Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. We'll see you next week. Bye guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.